He hops in the back of my car. I have a police officer. Think about it now. I could have driven off. So the police
Hostage situation.
And then the door opens. Vincent jumps in right into the cop's arms. Cop has his arm around Vincent yet, and he's like, "Hey, yo, mate." Vincent's just like, "Fuck."
Speaking of drug deals, I accidentally intercepted one once. So.
What is up, guys, ladies and gentlemen? Liam here with the boys. We've got Kyle, Taylor, Sam, Addy, and Reese, and we're going to have some questions. Here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hang
Okay,
I'm
so
busy.
just to start off easy, how's your day?
I'm tired.
Yeah. My day's
Yeah,
great.
bro.
My day's bloody great. It's only 3:30 at the moment, mate. We're only halfway through.
Well done. Sam, mate, you look like you're fucking a little bit depressed, mate. Upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit through another one of these fucking podcasts. I'm just
King.
kidding.
Let's just jump into it, Reese.
Alright, cool. Would you rather masturbate or defecate in public?
Wait, was that a question? How's your day?
That was a
I just
question.
heard you tick something off. Who put that on the list of questions? How's your day? Alright.
I'm only on the 3 questions.
Yeah, it got us like 20 seconds of content. Don't miss it.
Alright, sorry, what was the question again, Reese?
Would you rather masturbate or defecate in public?
In public.
Both.
Wait, what are we defining public as?
100% defecate.
As in, like, everyone can see us do it, or we're in a public bathroom?
No, like you're on the footpath, mate.
You're on the footpath.
I reckon just shit. Just
Yeah,
drop a
shit
fat
somewhere.
dude. Fuck it.
I'll play
Get
both
off like
at
a
the same
foot or
time.
something.
Haven't we all done that?
Just take it. Yeah, we all.
Take it,
Yay!
fucking shit.
I've actually seen a guy do that.
What?
Yeah.
He was at the
Shoot.
bodyguard parade.
Like, you saw it with your own eyes?
Yeah.
Someone shit themselves.
They just shat in public. They squatted down by a bush. I walked right past. We were probably like a couple of meters away from each other, and I was just like, "All right," and just kept on walking.
What the fuck?
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't blame
yeah.
him.
It's like that video
A lot of
of
man shit.
the person in the Woolworths. He just takes a shit and then fucking throws out his pant leg.
Yeah.
Was that at Woolworths?
That's the way to go.
Was that in your Woolworths, Sam?
No, surprisingly not.
You would think. No, I would say. I don't want to do either. That's embarrassing. I mean,
I'd like
Yeah, but you
shit
gotta
on
pick.
like a statue or something you can brag about, you know?
yeah, I
Why
took a
would you
shit
brag
right in
about
front of the
that
Parliament
shit?
House. It was the best. Are we talking like when dumping? Like, can we just do it in our pants, or do we have to put in our pants and dump on the floor?
I'm talking pants around your ankles, mate, in a full
I'm gonna
squat.
shit on something or
Yeah.
somewhere.
Taylor, mate, stop trying to find loopholes around it. Just go for it.
I don't want to take
All
a
or
dump in
nothing.
public. Damn. Well, I guess I
You'd
can't.
rather shit though, for sure.
You'd rather shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's someone you hate. You just shit on their doorstep or some shit.
Yeah,
That's
don't
something
want
to
prisons
brag
for the other
about.
one because there's probably children around. So
Yeah.
I feel like if you were to
Why would
masturbate
you
in
do it around
public,
children?
if
Why
you
are
were
you
to
bringing up
masturbate,
children,
Kind of-
Kyle? God.
well, I wouldn't
Jeez.
choose to, but
I'd love to shit around children.
Sam.
well, it's probably only a fine if you take a shit, but you're going to jail if you. Yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
public indecency. Wouldn't.
Yeah,
Feel
but
like
which
one of
one would
those
you
guys-
rather explain? Like,
If you feel like one of those guys on the like supermarket cameras and they're just like walking past and they just like quickly pull out their pants for like 2 seconds and shit and then walk on.
I've seen
Like,
that.
Like,
Right,
shit in
right.
like a plotted
I'm
plan or
sorry,
something,
officer.
it's
I just had to do a quick wank. Like, what's the big problem here? Like,
Shitting can be like that quick. Like it can be like 5 seconds.
5 minutes
goes
shit.
down to a formula. What
Not
the?
if you're Taylor, apparently.
This guy shits in public.
Just be
Yeah,
like,
Taylor-
it's a
Taylor
problem,
takes
I'm sorry.
30-minute shits.
Huh?
I said you take
What?
30-minute shits. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Only last night, Taylor's like, "Oh, I'm just going to the bathroom." I think he was like at least 45 minutes.
Don't fucking what? I was talking
You
about
can't
this as
stand
well,
there in
wasn't
public and shit for 45 minutes. That's whack.
You
It's
can,
whack.
it's very awkward.
You'd be getting arrested and still shitty.
I don't think Kyle can chug a shit without playing Galaxy of Heroes on his phone.
No, he can't.
So surely in public he'd be sitting there just chucking a shit just on his phone, just playing, not caring about the outside world.
That's why
The amount of
that's why
times
playing
I've found
Bowls,
him-
I don't realise. I'm taking shit at the same time.
What?
I'll
My
keep
brain
everyone
just
quiet with that one. What's Taylor doing with these? Look
These
at them.
lights were having a spaz attack.
it? I don't want any of the viewers to have a fucking seizure while they're watching, so I turned them to still.
All the epileptic people out there are just.
Got shit. Yeah, although, question, do I get to bring my own toilet paper?
Fuck no. Go big or go
You're
home.
Oh
Public.
my god.
I mean-
You're in public.
I can't
Your
bring
own
my
little
toilet
moist
paper in public.
towelettes.
Locked and loaded with fucking toilet paper in my pocket. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Nah.
Find a leaf.
Opens his top pocket and just pulls out toilet paper and just wipes it off.
Like a magician. He'll bring out his sleeve or something.
Or just opens his mouth, pulls out rolls of toilet paper, just wipes it off with it.
Alright, well, I guess we're all in agreement then. Take a shit in
Taking the
public.
shit.
Taking a
Yeah.
shit.
Alright, cool. Now, if Elon Musk were to ask you for some advice, what would you say?
What kind of a question is that?
If he
Give me
was to
some
ask
money.
me for advice,
If he was to ask you personally for advice, what would you say?
so he comes up to me and he's like, Taylor, mate, can I get some advice?
Yeah.
Like, that's all he says is
But
not
like, advice
anything.
on what?
Yeah, what could you possibly give him
anything.
advice on that he doesn't
I
already know?
advise you to put
That's the
money in my
question.
account.
What's
Advice is to go to someone else for advice.
Yeah. Well,
I'd say, you want some
My
advice?
advice is to give me a job at SpaceX. That's my advice to you.
I'd make a new cryptocurrency and I'd say invest in T-coin. That's what I'd say. That's a tip for you.
Train queen.
I'd probably advise him to refer to Kerbal Space Program a little bit more for his space
Love that
missions.
game.
Yeah, what a good game. It's like not even a game almost. It's just like a simulation.
Mate,
game.
it's-
It's simulation.
Whenever
of building-
someone says it's not rocket science, Kerbal Space Simulator is rocket science.
Yeah, it literally is.
What would you say, Kyle?
no.
Wait, I missed the start. It's Elon Musk that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd advise him to shut the fuck up. I don't know.
Elon
I'd
Musk.
advise him to.
Shut
I'm
up.
joking, Elon Musk. Cut this out.
Now he's never coming on the podcast, Eddie.
Elon, put these on the show.
I'd
Please.
advise him
Advise him
to
to.
take better
Oh, yeah,
comedy
go.
lessons before he goes on Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah, true.
Wait, I don't think it's funny.
I'd
don't
advise
believe
him
I'll
to
say
make better cars that don't crash into humans as well.
Shit.
And release the Cybertruck already.
Yeah, I'd advise him
Yeah.
to give me access to all new Tesla vehicles.
Free Tesla products for life.
I like
Well,
how
what
this
great
is
advice,
really-
Money you'd
right?
save in your
It's
lifetime.
more just, can you do this for me? It's more of a asking a favor. It's not advice.
I'm sure Elon Musk will be like, yeah, sure, great, yeah.
He'll just tweet at you, lol, okay.
I don't think
Dogecoin time.
I don't think any of us could give Elon Musk advice. But unless it's on like, no, he
What?
probably knows more about computers than me. Like, what am I supposed to tell him? I don't think.
Advise
he
him
probably
to
knows-
name his.
He just
Have you seen
stole
the
all his
fucking-
properties.
Have you seen the dude's child's fucking name? He needs advice. Like,
Yeah,
what
it's
the
like
fuck?
Oh yeah, Archangel.
I'll advise him on that shit.
Yeah.
Just name your child Derek or something. Not fucking. I don't even know what the name is right now.
It's like AEX or something like that, or AXE1.
But the X and the E are
Is
like
it supposed to be
combined
pronounced?
somehow.
Yeah,
Ash.
yeah.
I thought it was pronounced
Yeah.
something Ash.
I thought it was
Yeah.
pronounced Archangel. Maybe you changed it. Or am I thinking of something else?
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
He's got his
that'd be
favorite jet fighter in there.
good. Yeah, he's very
Like, come on, bruh. Come
There's
Yeah.
being a nerd and there's that. There's that.
on. Come here, multiplication, subtraction. Like, what the fuck? Just name
I don't
something.
want to do fucking maths. Just tell me your baby's name.
One of my favorite
Three
clips
times
is
His name is XAEA-12, which
No,
is
no,
no.
not be pronounced X-A-12.
X-Ash A12.
X Ash A12.
Just rolls off
The-
the tongue, does it not?
The Ash part's alright, but everything else
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah,
you're,
Ash.
you're a Ben 10 character or something like
This
that.
fucking MF speaking in binary or something.
Damn.
Oh, his name is a fucking algebra problem.
Straight up.
I think people are just gonna call him Ash. Is it? Wait, him or her?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy.
Him. Just gonna call him Ash.
Well, then just name your kid Ash. I don't know.
That's not as
That's
cool.
some
Yeah.
advice.
Doesn't have any
That's some advice.
jets in it.
He's special.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'd give him advice on naming children. Final answer. Lock it in.
All right. What's your spooky story or spooky encounter?
Ooh,
Explain.
I put on spooky
Oh.
music if we're talking about spooky stuff.
Spooky.
Spooky stuff.
Are we talking real stuff or?
So something that you've personally experienced, whether it's a spooky story that you've heard passed down from a family member or something that you've personally experienced. Need some Green Day. Who's playing Green Day?
Yeah.
Gotta put on
I
some
pressed
spooky
play
music.
before the podcast started, and now it just randomly started playing.
That's all right.
Internet finally caught up.
Spooky story.
I remember there was one time, I think it was year 5, and I don't really have that many memories of that young ago because my memory's shit, but I remember this one. It was when Bloody Mary...
Oh no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't fucking believe you, cunt.
Yeah, I'm serious. It was when
Carry on.
the Bloody Mary was a thing.
Oh, yes.
Everyone was so scared about Bloody Mary, and I remember that there was these 2 girls that went to the bathroom, and they just put blood all over the bathroom, and said that it was from the Bloody Mary that tried to attack him, and everyone was losing their shits, and the teachers had
Is
to...
it real blood?
Yeah, it was real blood. I'll get to it in a sec. And the teachers had to sit down all the classes and tell them that Bloody Mary isn't real, and the girls were just trying to stir up drama. What ended up happening is, I didn't understand it at the time or anything, but maybe it was later, year 6. Yeah, anyways, so what ended up happening is that the girls had put their period blood just on the counter or something, and just
I was expecting that.
Do be spooky.
yeah, but
Ooh.
there was a whole time where everyone just went around being like, I don't want to fucking look at mirrors, and I remember
Yeah.
just being so scared to go on the toilets because I thought, and I was trying not to think it in my head, and then I still remember this one guy from a school that I don't remember any of the fucking class of because I went to so many primary schools, but his name was Bryce, and I don't know where I remember that. And it's just like, Taylor, mate, it was just me and him in the bathroom, and he's like, it's not real, I'll prove it to you right now. And I'm like, no, don't do it. And he goes up to the mirror and with me, we were both washing our hands, it was a bro time, and he's like, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And nothing happened, and I'm like, oh. He's like, see? I'm like, okay, thanks.
And then you became a man that day.
I became a bloody man. And there was also another time where I think it was maybe that time of year or whatever, where we all went on a school trip. And it was one of those school trips where we went into like some cabins, and everyone had their own cabin, and there was a huge bonfire. You guys probably been on one.
I had something like that.
Yeah, and it was the same thing where they said that Bloody Mary was walking around the large main campus area, and everyone was scared to go to the toilets and whatnot, and nothing ever came about it, and nobody spread blood everywhere, but it's just... I just remember it so much. Yeah.
It's funny that same Bloody Mary story took place around like the year 5-6 period for us at primary.
Yeah, it was like
school.
2009-ish, 10-ish.
And yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like I didn't believe it, so I went into the store to do it. Oh, into the bathroom to do it, and Kyle was out the front crying his eyes out because he thought I was gonna die.
He's gonna die.
Way to call out your brother.
Yeah.
Wow. You
Guys,
weren't
you went
gonna
to
go in with
12
me?
I
a.m.
remember that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about, Reese.
And you gotta light candles too, or it doesn't work.
Yeah, you gotta come on. You gotta spin around 3 times or something. But Bloody Mary went to like high school in my
Really?
area.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's year 8, bro. Get over it.
I only remember it from when I was like really young. I don't really remember it in high school.
You know, my area was retarded, so like.
But my area was pretty retarded as well. Seymour.
Seymour.
Fair enough.
Taylor would know.
You don't even know how retarded that place is. Now, what about some other scary stories? Liam, I know you have one.
I don't know what you're thinking of. I like a lot of spooky things, but I don't really have any spooky stuff that's happened to me.
Your grandma's house.
What?
Oh, there
Yeah,
used to be Liam.
His brain's
old-
blocking it out because of the PTSD.
Oh no, there's always like been stories that my nana's house has been haunted and stuff, like spirit of Aboriginal man being there and stuff like that.
It's racist, but
Um,
alright.
There was a story that my nana told about my
Nobody.
Poppy waking up in bed, not being able to move, and feeling like this pressure on him. And apparently he was like wailing and screaming but he couldn't move. But now that I think about it, that's just sleep paralysis.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of gets rid of that.
Debunk the story here.
Yeah.
Has
Lana.
anyone else had that? Sleep paralysis?
I've had
Nah,
it quite a
I've
few
never
I've
times.
had it
had
once.
it.
I've had it once.
What was it like when you had it?
Yeah, it was just after a while. It took me a while to. After I figured out what was going on, I'm like, oh yeah, sleep paralysis. Then I just stayed still and then I could move.
Did you get
You don't know what it
hallucinations?
is. You don't know. No, I didn't have any hallucinations.
No.
You don't know what it is until you like just take a second and realize what's happening.
Yeah, I never had any hallucinations. I would hear stuff, but yeah, nothing spooky. I never saw anything spooky. Although the first time I did have it, I was lying in bed, and then it happened, and I couldn't move, and I could hear this voice, and it said the word intruder, but it was very croaky, and it kept getting louder and louder until eventually it went away. And at this point, I had no idea what sleep paralysis was.
God.
And then later on, I found out about what sleep paralysis was. Something common that happens to people when they have sleep paralysis is they will see an entity called the intruder.
Well,
And
Yeah, right.
so
It's
Where-
interesting because
go on, Reese.
oh, you go T.
No,
you go, mate.
I was just gonna say, like, where were you hearing the word intruder from? Was it outside the room or in the room with you?
no, it was in the room. It was like right in my ear.
Damn, that's.
It was
fucked.
like intruder.
It's like some phasmophobia sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking scary.
But no, I remember when Kyle and I were really young, and we used to like one of my aunties has a holiday house down the south coast, and Dad used to take Kyle and I there, and we used to stay there
Again, weird
over
flex,
like
but
the
alright.
Christmas period.
Every episode, Reese has got a weird flex. Yeah, me
Weird
and
flex.
Kyle went with my dad to a holiday house.
Yeah, we
went
had a
to the
holiday
snow,
house.
Went to space with my dad.
Every winter, we just go up to the snow. You know how it is. What, you guys didn't do that? Anyway, go on, Reese.
Poverty, am I right?
um,
We can't even tell the story.
He's
We
still
got roasted for five minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm out. Kyle, you can take my place as the fourth member of the PortBoys podcast. All right.
Come on.
done.
Kyle and I used to sleep in a bunk. I was on the top, Kyle was on the bottom. I was very young, definitely younger than 10 years old. And I remember waking up on the top bunk. It was a really windy night. Across from the bunk, there was a big window. And there was a tree outside the window. I used to be very scared of trees, especially when they used to tap on windows as a kid. It's a typical cliche of horror films. Anyway, I remember waking up one night, and it was definitely windy and rainy. So whatever I heard, I can't sort of verify. But I remember seeing right next to the bed a silhouette, as though somebody who I at the time thought was my dad, standing there next to the bed. And I'm talking like not much further than sort of maybe 30 centimeters to a meter away. And it was a silhouette because the room was pitch black, it was dark, and calling out and not getting a response from that silhouette. And I was shitting myself so fucking hard that I screamed out for Dad. And he came into the room, and when he turned the lights on, it went away. No idea what it is. Forgot about it for years. And then it was chances are it was just a shadow, but it was still a super fucking freaky
That's
experience
just-
to because I thought it was Dad, and then to call Dad and him to come into the room, I was like, oh shit. Anyway, so that has always lived with me as being something spooky.
This is the first I'm hearing this. So I've lived a horror story and didn't even know it.
You were in the room, mate.
Kyle on the bottom bunk, just
Just having him a nap.
Yeah.
So, again, like I mean, it could be because they
Okay,
say that
well.
in sleep paralysis you can see silhouettes. You can never see people, but you can see silhouettes. So, and I remember lots of times as kids not being able to to speak, but being awake. So I think I think I had sleep paralysis pretty severe as a kid, especially at the Moorebank house. Used to think a lot about intruders. So when Liam, when you said that, I was like, I never heard anything, not once. I heard as though someone was coming up the stairs, but I never heard anyone speak. But yeah, I had lots of cases of like sleep paralysis. Never been diagnosed with it, but
That's
I
crazy.
don't think everyone's susceptible to it. I think anyone gets diagnosed with it.
I read
Well-
that it was common amongst kids.
What sleep paralysis is, you experience sleep paralysis every night, but most nights you probably just sleep through it. It's where your body paralyzes itself so you don't act out your
Yeah.
dreams when you're dreaming.
REM sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when you wake up during that.
yeah.
That's what sleep paralysis. So everyone
Yeah.
can do it.
I have a mate and he had sleep paralysis this one time, and I don't know, he could see like giant cockroaches and shit. And then I know. And then he heard TV static, and he's like, you know, I've had this before, so I know it's sleep paralysis. So I know that like I'm kind of asleep. And then he hears right next to his ear a voice just say, "You've never been more awake." And then he wakes up. Like your subconscious really be fucking with you. Like that's
God.
whack. For someone to say, like, you're in your head, you're like, I'm sleeping. This shit ain't real. And then for a voice to be like, nah, bro, you're awake. Like that's fucking scary.
That gave me a chill, actually.
God damn.
You've
That's
never
the
been
power
more
of
awake. Yeah,
The
like
brain.
you
Mm.
Really makes you want to go
dumb
film
monkey brain.
a horror film or something.
But legit, you've never been more awake. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
For a horror movie,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm-
So let's make that.
Just make it.
I've just got that ghost story from there's that brewery down
Oh
Barrel.
yeah.
Yeah, and we were there filming with Daniel, and we got there and explored. There was the front building, so the thing, like big building, and there was the back property, which was another big building similar to the other one.
Yeah.
When exploring that, Daniel and I were on the second level of the back building, and I was so there was this doorway. Like you climbed up the ladder, and at the other side of the room there was a doorway, and I was facing away, looking at Daniel, and Daniel could see the doorway like over my shoulder,
Uh-huh.
and I just see his eyes like widen, and he was like, "What the fuck?" Like, and he said that he saw someone just peeking out and then go back behind, and then we went and saw that there was no one in the building with us. So we sort of just played it off like, oh, a bit spooky, but that's nothing. When it really got interesting is probably 6 months later, went back there with my mates, and below that, like on the first level, there was a noose hanging from a grate that went through to the second level, which was like, it was creepy to see, but I assume some kids had just tied it up. But when one of my mates was like holding it and looking up through the grate, he saw someone walk over the top. There was no one there with us on that same second level.
Really?
And Daniel saw the
Just to add to that as well, when you were up on that second level, I was on the ground floor with Georgia, and we heard that door shut. Do you remember that? But we assumed because it was a windy day, it was just the wind blowing the door shut on the second floor. And we asked, like, yous asked if that was us, and we're like, no, we're down here, and it wasn't yous because yous were up there.
wow.
So the door closed. So, and that's also where we plan on shooting the third act of Aviators. So we are going.
Oh, I'm scared now.
Extra cast member.
yeah.
Maybe we can work that into the plot now. It's haunted. Turns out. Put a twist on it like M. Night Shyamalan.
When you get possessed at the end, it's just like it's just pondering.
God, I don't have any personal stories like that. But have you guys ever been in
Ever
like
felt
the...
like this?
Strange things happen.
Go on,
For
Sam,
sure.
please.
But have you ever been like home alone or with someone or something, and you're in a room completely isolated, and then you hear a sound like in the other side of the house, or you hear a loud noise, and to make you both believe that there's someone in the house with you, so now you have to go sneak around the house to try and see if there's someone inside?
I've heard like a noise, like plenty of times if I'm home by myself, but I never think that, you know, there's someone in the house. I always try and rationalize it like, well, both front door and back door are locked, so there's no way someone could get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple of times where I thought I've heard a couple of footsteps in the house or something, and then They used to be like, go check it out. Nothing ever came about of it, but it's just that feeling like, oh, am I about to
It's
like?
probably just built into like our DNA. Like you gotta be like aware of predators and shit. That's what we take
Booga.
back.
Yeah.
Be like our ancestors watching out for like snakes and shit. That's where it comes from.
Is there a snake in
That
my
whole
house?
like fight or flight, like the instinctual
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah,
Like
instinct.
it is weird though how your body, like your brain, hears a sound which it, for some reason, decides shouldn't be there, or
Yeah.
seems odd. So it is interesting how the brain chemicals work with that. Like I remember there was a this is a story on behalf of Harry. What prompted me to move into his house earlier than expected is because he came home one night and left the outside light on and the light on just inside the front door,
Mhm.
and he could see a black silhouette move, but he knew that his mum wasn't home and it was just him rocking up like after work at night time. So he stopped and thought, fuck. So he called the police thinking that there was an intruder inside the house. The police rocked up, went inside the house and found no one. Neither did they find like an unlocked door or unlocked window or any form of evidence of someone being inside the house. Anyway, Harry went inside and he reckons he saw the silhouette go into his mum's room, which is like the door's here, the mum's room is right next to the front door. Inside the mum's room was an old hospital trolley that for some reason his mum bought from an old hospital for a gift for someone, like an old stainless steel hospital trolley. And it was in the mum's room. Anyway, he associated the hospital trolley as possibly being haunted and therefore somebody being active inside the house. He also reckons he heard something when he was trying to sleep that night. So the next day he called me to come and move in because he didn't want to live there by himself when his mum wasn't home. And then we moved the trolley outside and he never experienced anything again. But I hated living there the whole time because I was shitting bricks every time I turned a corner or every time I rocked up from like a closing shift at Mac. And what I was going to fucking say, the whole house is dark and I'm like, oh shit. So I was
Bro
glad
just
to get out
wanted
of
his, he just wanted his hospital bed back. He's like, I'm about to be gifted to something. Shit.
That's pretty spooky.
I don't know in what circumstance a hospital trolley is a good gift for anyone.
Yeah.
It's a hospital.
Same
Like,
thing.
if I received that, I'd be like, thanks. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I just googled that. Why would anyone want that?
Yeah,
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, I'll turn my music off and I'll check my stream on.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Like it just every time I look at a picture of it, it's giving me the fucking creeps now.
Well, as in like,
Does it look
Oh,
like any of
hospital
these?
trolley. Hey, that's nice.
Yeah,
bro.
so not like a bed, more of like a
Something like this.
no, it's like just keep scrolling, scroll down. Yeah, like see on the left there, it says vintage, something similar to that, like a trolley with like a drawer sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
It was
I
just
thought it was a
like
bed.
it was stainless steel. It was pretty big. It was just a real weird thing, and it just did give us the creeps every time we saw it. So
Mm. Whack.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. I wouldn't want to receive that shit.
and just getting a gift from a hospital in general is just weird. Like,
Mm.
like
Yeah,
disease. and death.
yeah.
Sam, mate, I feel like you're and which is fine. Like real skepticist towards all of his stuff. Do you
Oh,
have
me too.
anything at all? Well, yeah,
Right.
Addison for the obvious, but Sam, do you have anything like at all that was even maybe spooky? Not
Not really. Probably shit that happened when I was a kid that I've just forgotten about.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
obviously don't
fantastic.
believe in ghosts or anything.
Because
Well, I
why
mean-
is it only some ghosts come back? Why only some people like, what's up? Let me haunt your house real quick.
Yeah.
Surely there'd be like millions of ghosts, right? Not just like 3. You know, I kind of just hang out. Fucking... And why would you hang
People
out
just,
in a
people
house?
just want to believe that they want it to be real so bad.
Yeah.
So they just believe anything because I don't know, it's fun.
It is. It definitely is fun.
that's
It is. It's definitely like fun to use spooky stories and stuff. But I feel like, I don't know. People have like learned, like in the old days, they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, like a demon possessed this person," and
Yeah.
we
They'd be
got
like, oh my god,
exorcism."
really? Oh.
but like the person would actually like back in those days be like a schizophrenic or something, which is something they
Yeah.
didn't know about. So it's like, oh fuck, we gotta fucking real quick.
Yeah.
But that didn't fucking help. But it's like now as a society we've learned No, people just
So-
have these things happen at these
Now only
problems.
like really stupid people believe in.
Him
Hold
just calling
on,
the majority of this chat right here stupid.
I'd still like, but I'm definitely still open to like, like I'm
No,
not.
I'm open to shit that's like sketchy and like, but I don't
You're
automatically.
fucking sketchy, Matt.
You're fucking sketchy, cunt.
Oh, fuck.
Kyle, I know you and your friends have checked out a lot of abandoned places. Has anything particularly spooky happened in any of them?
That was the spookiest one about from the brewery.
Because what sort of stuff have you checked out?
Oh,
there
the
was-
cemetery story's funny, Kyle.
You went to a
Oh,
cemetery.
very-
Why would you willingly go to a cemetery? Why is Kyle's screen? Oh no, it was frozen on a depressed image of himself.
It's not so much a spooky story,
Well, you went there for the spooky story.
more of a like a shenanigans story. You're talking about the one with Vincent in that. aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit of self-sabotage with this story. My character will be tainted. So I can't remember what we were doing, but me and my mates were just hanging out one night, and I got a call from Vincent asking what I'm doing, sort of thing, and if we can come out to this cemetery. Oh no, yeah, good. Okay, I'll restart. The plan was for
Roll it back. Hold up.
Vincent and like a bunch of others to go out to the cemetery, and my mates wanted to go too, but one of them was at work, so we were going to wait. He finished at 10 p.m, so we were waiting for him to finish to go out.
Yep.
And whilst we were waiting, we got a call from him saying, "Can we hurry up because police have arrived?"
At the
And they
cemetery?
were, sorry,
At the cemetery.
yeah, because it was fenced off, sort of thing. It was trespassing.
Oh shit.
They were doing. We waited a little bit longer, and like because he was saying like we're hiding in the bushes, sort of thing. When my mate finished, he's like, because he called like 9:30 saying that, so it was a half-hour wait. Then we head out, and the whole time I don't know why, but I just didn't think of I didn't think of it was like I didn't plan out the situation in my head. I should have fully expected for the police in the area to be curious and suspicious of 3 P-platers in a convoy driving past this cemetery where they know
No, not at all.
other youngins about the place.
Yeah.
So
You're just going to pay your respects, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
probably should have said something like that. But so the whole time I didn't think of like a fake story sort of thing. I was just
Just
driving.
vibing. You know.
Yeah. So we finally get there. As soon as we, so like the cemetery, like it was like the main road going with a cemetery on your right, and it was like a
Uh-huh.
road off to the left, sort of thing.
Yep.
It was just like the 2 roads, sort of thing. So as soon as we turned right onto the road next to the cemetery, we could see a patrol car just parked, sort of thing. And I'm like, shit. And then so I turned left onto that road to try and just like get away and like regather, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And as we're driving up that road, a van had turned around and started flashing its lights, pulled us over. And then the sergeant comes up to my window and asks us what we're doing there. And for the briefest moment, I tried. I was like, we're just going for a drive. But I was a bit flustered.
Classic.
A bit. Oh, it was the first time being questioned by police like that. So I tried to play it off, but you could see on his face that he knew I was bullshitting. He's like, he didn't
But
say
sir, I'm
anything.
going for a leisurely drive.
at 10
PM
p.m.
at night.
Where?
At 10 p.m. with 2 other P-platers behind me. Very convenient. So like yeah, I could see in his face that he wasn't gonna take that for an answer, sort of thing. So I broke pretty quickly and told him why we were there. Next thing you know, he's got my phone calling Vincent, setting up a sting operation for me to. He was pretending to be me, the police officer.
What?
I'm sorry, but wouldn't the police officer have a very different voice?
Is he allowed to do that?
Probably not, and
It's like fraud, isn't it?
like I'm skipping ahead a little bit. They never actually got a fine for it, so I feel like I definitely feel like the sergeant was doing something a bit sketchy, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Taking my phone. Like,
Was he even a sergeant? That's a real. Or was it just a random dude who's like, just need to borrow your phone?
He didn't just take your phone, did he?
Took your
Well,
virginity.
yeah, so he calls him up. He hops in the back of my car. I have a police officer. I could have think about now. I could have driven off. As far as the police came. Hostage.
Hostage situation.
Man, go for stuff. I've distracted them. Go. Yeah, he hops in the back of my car and he's calling Vincent. And Vincent didn't pick up on it. And he tells me, he says, "Oh, we'll meet you around the corner." So I pull out and go around the corner and pull over, and the cop calls like Vincent again. And he's like, "All right, we're here. Go, go, go," sort of thing. And then, like 30 seconds later, the door opens. Vincent jumps in right into the cop's arms. Cop has his arm around Vincent and he's like, "Hey, yo, mate." Vincent's just like, "Fuck."
Hey,
How old was the cop for him to like sound like you? He's like,
Oh,
"Get my fucking gun out!" It's like just sounded nothing. Like,
Probably like mid-20s, I'd say, like late
oh
20s.
damn!
Okay.
Uh,
Pull up.
and yeah, and, like it's over the phone, sort of thing.
The cemetery. The reason I brought that, I tried to move from their spooky stories, is because the cemetery was reportedly haunted. Hence, why the boys were going out there in the first place.
Yeah,
Um,
and like talking to them later, apparently they heard something. But who
The
knows?
cops.
Yeah, probably the cops. They've got their whole own story about how they were hiding in the bushes with the cops with the torches, like over there the whole time. And apparently, when we pulled over, when the cops flashed us initially, apparently we pulled over right next to him. Like Vincent was saying that my mate Jake, who was like 2 cars behind, he was like right in front of it, sort of thing, but he couldn't because the cops were there.
Yeah.
Couldn't like get him.
They didn't
So-
get fined or anything.
No, yeah. So because I was saying that like I'll pay the fine, sort of thing, because like I was responsible for them getting captured. But it never came to that. So
The cop was like, "I got you now." I'm fucking sick.
yeah.
Coming it out.
So I was saying my character will be tainted because I have not stopped the shit I. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble wording this. I've been labelled as a snitch ever since then, and I have not stopped getting shit for it.
Yeah,
since
DB
that-
Dobber, mate.
Yeah.
DB
So
Dobber
basically,
methods.
what you're saying is that you're a fucking criminal.
Take this video down.
Mate, and through having me on this podcast, you are now supporting a criminal.
Wow. I
Yeah,
fucking
You
sure.
snitched on yourself. Not only did you snitch on everyone else, you have now just snitched on yourself.
I can't help it. It's a.
He just
I
can't
have
stop
to-
it's
snitching.
debilitating.
His arms are
I
rich
love
and he's
snitching.
got a
Yeah.
snitch. I would hate going to abandoned places. I'd be too scared for that.
Oh, mate,
Really?
we're going there for aviators, so
Yeah, I would love to just explore abandoned places.
Yeah,
Probably
that's in
not
the
by
daytime,
myself.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, not by yourself. Yeah.
it can be pretty eerie because there's this place down Goulburn and wasn't an orphanage race or something.
the one up on the
I think
hill.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't creepy. Like we went in broad daylight. Nothing scary. It was creepy. Went in one of the bathrooms and there was weird shit on the walls. There was they drew like a shadowy ghost thing on the. So when I walked in, I was like, "Fuck."
It's just kids though being. Like,
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
nothing better to do, man.
I was by
Except
myself
for
at
draw
that
on
time, and
wall.
there was just a very eerie feel about that part, but there was nothing really creepy about it. The main part, we went like to the top floor and because it burned down or something, so it was like rubble everywhere and not spooky, but it was scary because I was worried that the floor was going to cave in while I was still standing on it. But I'm here, so that didn't happen.
Fuck that.
And I'm here. I went with you. Why say the story as if I wasn't?
No, you weren't with us the first time, I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
first
went
time
without
was
me.
before your time.
Wow. You
Wow.
seriously went without it?
It's just went without me.
How dare I?
I see the
Disrespectful.
spooky shit on the wall.
Yeah, there's just something
Um,
about walking through like a place like a castle or something at night time. It's just, no, not for me.
I'm not sure I do it.
Have you walked through a
Castle?
castle at night time?
How many abandoned castles do you
Fucking
be cool, though.
Jump from abandoned orphanages to a full-blown medieval castle.
that would be sick.
That would be cool though.
But you'd be
You'd
more
never find one
scared
in
of
Australia.
You'd be more scared of the fucking crackheads that are there, like
Yeah,
straight
shooting
up.
Well, that's a part of
Yeah.
the problem. Like, going through like being walked through the an abandoned like train tunnel. And the scariest part is coming across someone or something.
Yeah, you know, like what kind of person you're gonna find in a fucking.
Exactly.
At least with the
Has that happened,
ghost.
Carl? Have you gone through the Picton train tunnel and
Not Picton. We want to do Picton because then they could be
not
haunted.
Picton?
But
this?
these ones are down the bottom of Stanwell Tops. Like the
Yeah,
cliff.
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. So I've been through there a few times. But like the scariest part is you're gonna come across a fucking drug deal or a murder in place or
You want some
something.
meth?
Like if you ever want to hide something, apart from the traffic of people that go through there, it's a very secluded spot.
Well, which is why
Speaking of,
in the I was gonna say
Go, go.
that exactly what you just said, Cole, happens in Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
They hide a murdered body down there. Yeah.
Speaking of drug deals, I accidentally intercepted one once. Uh,
How do you accidentally?
me and my mate went to, I think, it was the tunnels or something. I don't know. But we're on our way back, and we're like, I'm like, fuck, like, car's running low on petrol, gotta stop at a servo or whatever. And there was only this one Shell petrol station in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I'm like, all right, sick, pull up. So we go in. And we're sitting in the car. I think I'm transferring money, and the guy that's the cashier, who I don't know is the cashier, this dude just walks out, comes to the window. So my mate's next to me, and my mate opens the window, and he's got his wallet in the car, taking our money. He's like, "You guys with Nathan? Are you guys with Nathan?" And we're just like, "Nah, bro, what the fuck?" And this pickup truck pulls up behind us. Like, this place is dead, apart from my car and this fucking pickup truck behind us. So we're like,
Probably Nathan.
that's probably Nathan. So we quickly fill up and pay, and I go in to pay, and the guy's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, so the guy is the cashier. He's not just a random fucking dude. He's on shift, and he's like, "I'm sorry about that. It was just I'm like, just like, you can't fucking explain your way out of this." I'm like, "It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it." And the pickup truck is left by that point. And we just drive down the road a bit, and I call Kyle because I'm like, "Kyle, just fucking." This guy's buying drugs. We just got caught up in the. So I look like a fucking Nathan to you, bro. First of all, anyway, and then we just see the pickup truck go down the road and pull back in. So, and I'm like, pickup truck, red Suzuki Swift, like was like, what the
He was
fuck?
probably high on all that product he was buying.
Yeah, true. Bro, you got fucking petrol right there. Start sniffing for free, homie.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's pretty whack. Yeah, man's had the money out and everything. Should be like, yeah, I'm Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he was trying to sell to you, you should just went with it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nathan.
No, what are you
I
gonna
heard of
score?
him. Yeah.
Score some meth.
Hell yeah, fun night with the boys.
Got a couple of bags of that, mate.
Got a little canister of heroin at work. Found under the
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
under the sink. It's still in that yellow tub.
You just see Sam get up to his wallet and keys, start crying.
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about that one, Kyle, on this podcast, in a previous episode, about how you were trying to fix the plumbing and you found the bag and the stash up there and the needle.
Yeah, well,
Score.
the whole kit apart from the lighter.
Apart from the
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah.
I've
That's
got that here.
That's all you needed to do. Just buy a lighter.
Well, I'm sure I could find one around there. So
You handed it in like a dumbass, Kyle. God damn.
Yeah, I mean that's free, mate.
What a snitch. Unbelievable.
I mean, it's all still there, spoon and all.
You gotta take those opportunities as they come.
Sean walks into the
Everything
bathroom to
happens.
check on. Sean walks into the bathroom to check on how Kyle's going, and Kyle's just sitting there.
Look what I found, boss.
Around my arm.
Goes into the bathroom to clean up, comes out high on heroin.
Fuck, let's go! 12-hour shift. Woo!
It was free, it was just sitting there. What else was I supposed to do, boss?
Yeah, it was just staring at me.
You don't want anybody else to use it. Come on, it's dangerous.
I just climbed under the counter, it just fell into my arm.
Fuck. But that's an actual thing. Like, what if you just reach your hand around there and you fucking jab yourself through the middle?
Oh, it's unbelievable that it didn't happen. Like it's rare that they have the little caps on, but every single needle I found of them, they had a little cap on.
Oh. Like, there was one time where I was sitting in one of the booths and I found a needle that was just in the side.
Yeah.
remember you saying that. Yeah.
Was anyone there with me, or
I think I was sitting next to you when that happened. Yeah.
fucking needle just sitting there like, what is? Because are you shooting up in the booth? Like,
Did it have anything left in it?
no,
Why is it still there?
it did not, unfortunately.
I
Otherwise,
checked.
that would be going straight in my toes.
No.
That was fun. It was embarrassing too, because I think I had someone else there. Maybe it was my girlfriend or someone else. But finding a needle where you're sitting is just
Especially at your workplace as well.
makes you question. Who the fuck's shooting up in the chairs in the booth, in view?
He really wanted to.
Imagine
I
it's
got-
happening in mid-act, sort of thing. Like you go to ask if they want a drink or something, and then it's like, oh fuck, yep, no.
Can you give me one
What do
sec?
you do?
What would you do? Like, we usually yank it out and try to hide it. Or...
And you didn't offer me.
yeah.
Just call the cops. It's pretty dangerous if someone has a needle. You don't want to get yourself in that. Just call the cops. It's not worth risking yourself.
Just call Sam.
Just call Sam.
Of course.
Look
mate.
how relaxed he looks.
He'll dispose of it in an appropriate way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It needs to go to waste.
Who's your favourite, mum or dad?
Oh, come on.
Fuck. Sorry, I got it.
What if they watched this? I don't want to pick a between
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mum, Dad, you're both just as good as each other.
Yeah.
But secretly,
Love you, Mum and Dad. But secretly...
Mum,
I love you very much,
right
Mum.
now.
I mean, my mum and dad are just great. My dad helps me all the time, and my mum's always nice. My parents are great. I don't want to choose between any of them, but mum. But I mean, both my parents are great.
This is humble, loving shit. I didn't come here for none of this.
What's your choice then, Kyle? You fuck.
The family dog.
You.
I look like one, don't I?
The family dog.
Yeah, fuck. Family dog.
What are you,
Yeah, no, you
Liam?
can't make us choose, bro.
Yeah, I can't choose.
Come on.
Reese, fuck
It's
you
like
for
we
asking
can,
that
but-
question. Fuck you, Reese.
Yeah.
Is it Andrew?
I'm not saying anything.
I mean, you can tell Andrew anything, right? Like, are you high on drugs that one time?
Oh, shut up.
That's a story for a podcast. You guys didn't. You weren't there for that.
We'll leave it for another time.
I think we did talk about that.
did.
Links in the description.
I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When we're talking about being hungover or throwing up, when's the last time you threw up?
Oh, I couldn't remember if we did it on a podcast or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for Kyle and Eddie, he goes back home like absolutely fucking wrecked, and his parents accused him of being high on drugs because he was just so wrecked. And
Oh, dude.
the mum was like, just tell us, and she walks away after Liam's like, no, I'm just hungover, and Dad pulls him aside next to the barbecue, and he's like,
Shit.
you can tell me, just tell me what they gave you.
Next to the
What-
grill.
Next
This
to
is
the
between me, you, and the Webster barbecue.
Tell your dad anything.
Yeah, no, I know that, like, one of my mates posted, like, a really bad fucking photo for my birthday, and this was, like, I didn't drink anything, I wasn't on crack, like, it was just a bad photo. And yeah, my mom just wouldn't let it up. She's like, you're on drugs in that photo. I'm like, I'm fucking 12 in that photo. What the fuck? So, I think to this day, she still believes that I was on drugs, but
You are.
it is what it
correct.
is.
Crackhead.
Don't worry, we'll cut it out. Like,
But, whoa.
were you on drugs? Is that?
I gotta go.
Nah.
Mate, she hasn't stopped being on drugs since she was
Shut
5.
the fuck up.
That makes sense.
True.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Constantly on crack. Cock. Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
oh, boys, my Norton protection is off. Don't give me any.
Oh,
guns
no.
again.
Virus
Wow.
alert. Are you serious?
I'm serious, mate.
Who the
This
fuck
is
uses
dangerous.
Norton protection?
I'm risking a lot to be here.
It's just Discord.
Risking your privacy, man.
Kyle and Addy, what happened to Gilbert?
Oh,
Yeah. Good question.
Yeah, spill the beans.
Yeah,
Thanks
we know
for
you did
asking.
something.
I know you did something.
Fish just doesn't up and disappear.
He was pretty
He's-
tasty, wasn't he,
It
Kyle?
did.
There
He
are
fucking left the chat.
there are multiple conspiracy theories. Which one you choose to believe is up to you.
Addy, would you like to give us some
Fish.
context about the situation?
Yeah,
Addy,
we had 3 fish. We had.
let the guest tell the story, please.
All right.
Yeah, thank you,
So please,
guest Reese.
tell us what
Yes.
happened.
We had 3 fish: Pete, Gilbert, and Frank. All right, 3 motherfuckers, and they're fine. They're all friends until, like all goldfish, except one was black, but it's still, I don't know, still a goldfish, you know.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, Gilbert started ragging on Pete, like just absolutely destroying him. And I really like, I'd feed them in the morning, but I'd be like,
That's like just being a bully, you know.
just being a bully, like biting his fins and shit. So,
Oh.
you know, in this time, Frank had died due to unknown causes. I don't fucking know. Dog he went in the fucking Squidward house and headed out, kind of thing. He was like, all right, this is my place of rest.
Aw.
He got that bug
So
eye
yeah.
disease. His eyes were like
Yeah.
like half a centimeter off of his like face, sort of thing.
Shit.
He was bugging out. I don't know what he
Yeah.
was on. Anyway, and then we had, Gilbert was still ragging on Pete, and I'm like, we got to get the old tank out and, you know, separate them, and, you know, we need a hospital tank for this bitch because he's gonna die. So we're like, Pete's gonna die. He's basically blind. Like, Gilbert has attacked him to no avail. And anyway, so next day I go to the tank and all I see is Pete. And I drop some food in. I'm like, Gilbert's probably hanging out in one of the houses, whatever.
Yeah.
Next day goes by and I'm like, Gilbert's not, like, he's not in the tank. Like, you know, I'll kind of put food in there, but he's probably just hiding somewhere because he likes hanging out in this spot that's like really high up in this like little fucking house thing, so you can't see him. Anyway, the third day I'm like, hey Kyle, can you check the tank? Like, this dude has not shown his face for like 3 days now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we checked the tank and, you know,
Gone. Yeah.
fucking gone. Pete was still there. Pete was, yeah.
But
I don't know.
like Pete was on death's doorstep for like a month.
Yeah. Pete was having conversations with the Grim Reaper for sure. I don't know.
and Gilbert disappeared during this time,
Like, disappeared. Like,
which-
no fucking bones and shit.
which like we've had people say that like because he was like the black ones with big googly eyes. Reese is saying that someone from work was saying that that they've had their black one eat another one of the goldfish before, like actually like eat it.
Yeah.
But you'd think if it were to eat the goldfish, there'd be some form of remains left over, like an eye.
Yeah, like all the
Or
bones.
or
Yeah.
even like a part of a tail. So like it, because I combed through the bottom sort of thing, like scooped up all the sand, and nothing, not one little bit
No
of,
fucking fish.
of
bro.
remains. So it's possible that like he fucking just chewed through him somehow without.
But he was gonna die. That fish don't even have teeth, bro.
and like the rest had like disintegrated into the water. I don't know.
Like, how does a fish
and-
just disappear?
Exactly.
these
They
nuts.
can jump out. They're gonna get jumped out.
Well, so
That's so
yeah.
conspiracy theory that's the most plausible is there's a little gap that's like this big, and there's also another little gap that's like this big into the bin. So we think he might have jumped out of the tank and into the bin, like a perfect fucking shot into the
One in
bin.
a million shot. It's not like he can go back into the tank to try it again.
Poor thing, we fucking buried him in trash if that happened. Like, this sandwich fucking sucks. Just dunked on him. Now I feel bad.
It's probably
So Liam
unlikely.
had like a corner cut out sort of thing, and it's probably like a 2 centimeter squared, like a little bit for him to jump out, and like the angle to get from through that hole into the bin, it doesn't seem possible, but
Yeah.
so
I know you threw him out, Reese.
yeah. Well,
I know you did
yeah,
it,
so
Reese.
there's 4 conspiracy theories. 1 is that that Pete ate Gilbert. 2 is that he jumped out of the tank. 3 is that one of us in our sleepy state or secretively, without telling anyone, has chucked Gilbert out for being
I mean,
a bully.
Pete is my favorite. Fuck,
Yeah.
I was gonna kill Gilbert though. I was so angry that he was bullying my one. So I was gonna throw hands with a fish.
Because prior to that, we had separated Gilbert, we put him in
We
a
put him in a naughty
in a,
bag.
like a
Yeah.
paper sleeve bag.
Yeah.
In the tank to separate them to let Pete and Frank recover. So he was in the naughty corner, Gilbert.
Yeah.
So
I guess
yeah,
he had enough. He was like, "Fuck this! I'm about to go
Yeah,
into the
well,
afterlife." Some shit.
and conspiracy theory
Mhm.
4 is that he summoned a portal to a different dimension and just went through it.
Mm.
That's a good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
That's
Yeah.
Or
But in
alien.
the end, so Pete was getting better, but then he also kind of he also went into the Squidward house and fucked off. So
nice.
you know,
Is that
something
Squidward
to do with
House?
the
Like,
Squidward house.
yeah, must be. In fact, this was such a hot debate topic that Reese, Kyle, and Eddie actually made a short film about it. You can find that one in the description below. Very cinematic.
Ooh.
You should check it out. Very stylistic too.
What do you mean? The link's right here.
I'm not going to edit
It's
it
right
pop up.
here. It's right here.
I-
So you'll
No,
find the
don't.
link up here
You'll find the link right.
and over
Links
there.
there.
Oh my god. Can you guys not?
Good luck.
I ain't editing
So tell you
shit.
what, you just gotta put the link here, there, up here, down
Yeah,
here.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, it's right here, mate.
Superimposed in the
That's where
reflection of my
fucking link
eyeball.
is right here,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, for sure.
Link is on these nuts.
Whoa. Strong.
I need to stop saying that every time fucking Kyle speaks to me. Now I'm like, yeah, these nuts. And it's just old and it's not fucking funny.
These nuts. You gotta find
I don't know how
differentiation.
she's going and she's like, these nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
Is that a mood now?
really my state of mind at all times.
Like how you feeling? These nuts.
These nuts. Well, you'd say feel these nuts.
I'm
You gotta
feeling these
add a
nuts.
bit of flavour into that
Ah, sorry, yeah.
shit. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't understand, obviously.
Fucking amateurs, man. Yeah, understand these nuts. You know?
Oh, how about you shut up these nuts?
Well, that brings us to the end of our podcast.
so we've looked at the data and we can see that approximately 99% of you haven't subscribed.
99% of the viewers are not subscribed.
Please hit that button,
We see you.
that red one.
Alright.
We only have 6 subscribers at the moment, and they're all people we know. We don't have any.
Please, why ask for subscribers if there are no viewers? We need to start chanting to the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah. What's
To-
the leader of the fucking... What's her name? Oh, Susan
Susan.
Wojcicki or some shit. Susan Wojcicki. Put this in the trending or else.
Wojcicki.
We love you, Susan.
Wojcicki?
Please come on the podcast. Have a chat. It'll be
Sweet
nice.
Suze. Come through.
We know you're watching, alright? Just come on.
You're the one view on videos.
Just one
Or
subscriber,
you can
please.
just start talking about start making plans for for acts of terrorism, and you'll get the government's attention.
The government will subscribe.
Yeah.
Kill
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Come on, please. Just one subscriber. You, right there.
Please, or I'll
Just one.
do it, or I'll kill Scott Morrison.
Thank you, Kyle and Eddie, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
You're welcome. It was
Thanks,
a
mate.
pleasure to be here.
Thanks for watching. Remember to click the bell. Yeah, that's it.
Fuck you. What the